Hey, folks, Pastor Chuck Blair here. Great to have you joining me here on Friday as we're looking at a fun topic, which is what is one goal we can have for the weekend. And the way I want to look at this, I want to come by this beautiful little line from a piece of New Church theology. And the line is simply this. The line is a very simple one, but very powerful. It's talking about heaven, talking about how heaven works, and talking about a concept that to grow old in heaven is to grow young. You know that idea when we go when next life, that actually it's sort of this coming more and more into our best selves, and we become more and more young in a certain sense. And I want you to listen to this line because it's beautiful. Those who know how to share love are constantly advancing into the springtime of their youth in heaven. And the longer they live, the more joyful and happy that springtime is. So what does that mean? Well, I find it really fascinating. There's a consistent drumbeat of a message in Christian New Church thought, which is that so much of life is learning how to love and learning how to truly love. And it's a wise love. It's a love that's really able to help people. It's not just sort of a Pollyannish like love that's just you know a mile wide and inch deep. It's learning, how do I love in here? What does love look like here? What does love look like here? What does love look like here? Some of those situations are going to be easy in our lives, and some of them are going to be really difficult, what love looks like. But it's all about learning how to love. And the idea of heaven, like this is so good, right? The idea of we advance in heaven, and it's not that we might advance in heaven, it's just this is how we grow. It's saying this is how we grow in the next life. And we grow by learning how to share love more and more. Like I love that, right? We grow by learning how to share love more and more and more. What can get in the way of that? And this is one we've been working on in a series coming up, and it's not coming up for another month, but been working hard at it. And that's this idea. I think one of the things that can get in the way is our obsession with efficiency. And there's nothing worse for efficiency than this little bad boy right here. Our phones can really get in the way of connecting with other people. It doesn't mean that phones and technology are bad. It's all about how we use them. And something that came to my mind a few days ago was a number of our kids, and our kids are all adult kids, and they were at home. We were having dinner together, and there's a couple of them sitting at the table, and they're getting in a conversation with my wife, and it's kind of like I'm sitting here and they're sitting here, and they're having this conversation, and it was a great conversation to listen to, but I was clearly not. I don't mean this in a bad way at all. I was clearly not part of it. Like they were sharing on something that I was really just there to just listen to. And it was a good conversation. And then, a minute or two into it, I realized like, wow, this is not my conversation per se. So I'll just go lay down on the couch and look at my phone. You know, and that right there, right? Like your phone is always going to be more efficient relationally than anything else because your phone is designed to reflect back to you exactly the kind of thing you like. So if you go on my phone, you'll see YouTube, you'll see all kinds of World War II stuff on there, right? It's exactly what I want, right? But it's highly efficient. Like I go there, I look at it literally within a nanosecond. I have the world as I would love the world to be, which is stories about tanks and soldiers of World War II, right? But but my family's in the other room. Like my family's in the other room. And thankfully, with a little bit of a nudge, it was like, oh yeah, put down the dang phone, go in, sit, and even if you're just there listening, that is more inefficient, but it's going to be better. That's what we need to do. So that's what I'm gonna think I want to put out there for all of us, for all of us this weekend. What's the most incredibly inefficient thing you can do this weekend? It may be, as the little graphic picture shows, it may be going on a walk if you're down at the shore. It may be calling a friend that you haven't talked to in a long time. It may be calling the friend who you don't call that often because it's going to be an hour long conversation, but you do enjoy talking to them. Make it the hour long conversation. Whatever you can do this weekend to just find one little slice where you can embrace inefficiency, because here's the paradox, right? And this is where faith can get to be so incredibly counterintuitive to culture. And that's why we need to be really careful that we don't allow the culture of the age to sort of form our faith. that impacts it, but it shouldn't form it. And that's this idea, we live in a culture that's all about efficiency. And imagine instead we say, no, I'm actually going to be inefficient. And why? Because this line again. That's how we learn how to share love. Sharing love is not an efficient process. It doesn't come down to steps and stages. It comes down to presence. I think about, family vacations. Like one of the things I love about family vacations, and I have a wedding this afternoon. One of the things I love about weddings is you go into those environments, right? And you think you know what's going to happen, how everything's going to fall out. But what really happens is you go into those and there's always these little surprises, right? Where this person, you have this conversation with this person, you're surprised by it. You have this conversation with this person, you're surprised by it. You end up going, I know family vacations, like I like trying to get on a walk with our kids. I had a couple really nice walks that were completely inefficient and they weren't agenda driven. It's not like we need to go on a walk so I can tell you something. It was just, we were just on a walk. That's it. Highly inefficient, but clearly a way that we could learn how to share love. So friends, think about that. If there's one goal for the weekend, make it this: inefficiency. And really, if you need to chunk out, like I'm going to have this really inefficient hour where I put down, well, maybe it's putting down your phone or whatever, that you need to be just super inefficient, do it. And just notice how much easier it is to share love in those circumstances. So, friends, wishing you a weekend of inefficiency. And with that, what we're going to do now is then we're going to do our little meditation, our little prayer, and our little blessing. And the way we're going to work through that is we're going to do those things. And then if you're joining us for the first time, we do have a moment for commentary at the end. And that commentary that I read off of live is from our New Church Live Facebook page. We stream on a lot of different platforms. People are watching all kinds of different things throughout the week. No matter, whenever you watch it, feel free to leave a comment. And if I see it, and I don't always see them, but if I do, I certainly will respond. And if you'd like to respond live, please feel free to do that. So with that, friends, let's all get a big breath. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know that I. Be still and know that. Be still and know. Be still and. Be still. Be. Our Father, who art in the heavens, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, as in heaven, so upon the earth. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we also forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you, bring you peace, and bring you home. Amen. All right, dearest of dearest friends. So let us take a look. And again, I hope everyone's looking forward to a wonderful weekend. And yeah, it's all going to be good out here. That is for sure. All right, our comments for today. Sue writes, "Good morning," and good morning to you too as well, Sue. Marcus, good morning. Uh, Sherry writes, "Ta-da, it's Friday. Make it a good weekend." Yeah, it is. It is kind of funny. Yeah, just watching Sherry how fast it all comes blasting forward. Shannon, I saw you were looking at a little rain out there in Austin, Texas. How fun is that? Deborah writes, "Such a good point. My phone shows me knitting stuff and other interests. My husband is looking at tools and cars. Thought provoking to take the inefficient path is the richer path." I like that. The inefficient path is the richer path. Yeah, Deborah, you're going to see that in a sermon because it's really that's it. That's it, right? You know, the inefficient path is the richer path. I love that. Sue writes, texting and not talking to in person is a trend I've noticed that keeps family at arm's length. It's so true, right? And I can certainly do it. You know, I have some family members who I just love talking to, but I know if I pick up their call, it's going to be an hour. And you know, Sue, so what, right? Like, so what? So what? You know, it's going to be an hour because they're wonderful people and they want to have a good conversation. And there are worse things to want in the world, right? But yeah, gotta do better at that. Um, oh man, yeah. Thank you for little peace before my second eye surgery. Laying face down for a day will be pretty insufficient. It will, and yeah, wishing you all the best with that, buddy. Hope it goes really well. Um, and Mary Haney writes, "It's so true. Be here now," and it's so true. Like be here now, and that's it's funny, right? That's highly inefficient. Uh, and then Shannon adds a last minute note there. Yes, we got an exciting 1/8 inch of rain where I am. I'm looking forward to getting more today. Well, here's to more rain for you, my dear friend Chan. So, folks, wishing you just a great weekend, you know, and just really, you know, embrace the inefficiency of life and enjoy it. And yeah, we'll see you next week. God bless, friends. Take care. Bye bye.